How's it going today, guys? Sean, we're back again, and today the question on the table is, what constitutes a church as a church? What defines church? Is it a building? Is it a group of people? Is it a doctrine practice? What is it that makes it a church? And what do we do there? What happens there? When you ask people that question, my gosh, man, the stuff that comes back is amazing to me, to hear the different responses you get. I could go up to a person, and an older person, and ask them, and man, you see their eyes light up, and they talk about, this, beautiful arrangement of, candles and songs sung, and everybody has paperback books, and there's this by the book method that's used. They have answers for everything in there, and the system is set up to where different overseers are elected to feed the word of Jesus to the people. There's a person that's job is to oversee all of those souls. And my question is, how does that correlate to Matthew chapter 23? So I thought, let's kick a few ideas around, and let's put it next to Jesus, and let's see where it stands. What scriptures back up what church is today? What was church in the first century? From what we can see, there was a lot of, fighting and stuff going on. It wasn't too easy for Christians, so they had cave churches, which is funny to me because Jesus was born in a cave. I don't know how many of you know that, but Jesus was born in a cave, which is crazy. And it wasn't a Motel 6, it was a cave. And the thing is, they had churches in caves, gatherings. The apostles would meet with people, and these people would meet together, and they would learn about Jesus Christ, and they would pray and worship. And that was it. Was there communion? I don't know. The church today is sure there was. I wasn't there. I don't know. Okay? I know we had the Last Supper. I know he said, do this in remembrance of me. As far as that, I don't know. I don't know what the apostles did. I don't know. But does it make a difference? Is there salvation in the communion? Man, there's so many questions I have, man. It never stops. Communion aside, this first century church, for sure, they met and they talked and worshiped Jesus Christ, and they encouraged one another. They had fellowship with one another. So it's safe to say that the first century church was the original church, yes? Okay. Well, the first century church wouldn't meet the standard of today's tradition. The first century church would not have a leg to stand on in today's services, folks. It wouldn't work. The apostles, if they're not a part of an association, let me just tell you this. A lot of people don't know this about the older religions. They're the oldest associations on the planet. And if you're not a part of that association, you are heretic. You have no right to share Jesus at all, especially from a platform of preaching. Absolutely not. Unless you have authority to do so. Now, these men have decided who does and who doesn't have that authority. They are voted in. 99.9% of all of these pastors have been voted in. And there are laws and bylaws. There's a government that has determined what power you do and don't have. In the first century church, God decided that. God appointed the apostles, and He told them to go and to share this gospel freely. That's it. And Matt, we were just reading it earlier today in the den at the house. Jesus in Matthew chapter 20. What did He say? The mother of James and John asked if these men could seat themselves, one on the right and one on the left. And Jesus said, no. It's not going to be like this with you. No. He wanted us to be servants and to love each other. So, here we are, guys. 2017, and a first century church doesn't have a leg to stand on. What? Southern Baptist Association. That was one. Hey, guys, you know what? I'm guilty. That was one that I was a big part of. Southern Baptist Convention. And let me tell you something. You got to be married. You got to be the husband of one wife. We know what the clarifications are. We know what they are. 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, and Titus. This is what this whole system is based off of. So if you take 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, and Titus out of the equation, your first century church now again has a leg to stand on. What associations did we have at that time, folks? Now we have so many rules and regulations, we don't even know where our heads are at. So I'm going to have a part 2 of this video, but my question today is, what is church? What is it? What constitutes a church as a church? What do we know a church is? Folks, I would love to see some activity come back on this. This is dynamite. Hit me back. Send me all these messages, guys. I promise you, anything you send me, we're going to look at this material and we're going to talk about it here in the next couple days. Guys, welcome to the party.